Good for you.
I'm
No.
not scared of mice, though.
No.
It's really hard to replicate the footsteps of your father when your father is Will Smith. However, Jaden Smith was doing all he could to create his own footsteps. Jaden co-starred in the 2006 movie The Pursuit of Happiness along with his father, Will Smith. The critics were shocked by Jaden's performance and he got nominated for an Oscar and a Golden Globe for Best Actor. But as Jaden began to grow, his love for the film industry began to dull. Today, we're taking a look at 10 reasons why Hollywood won't cast Jaden Smith anymore.
Knock, knock. It's me, Kaz. I brought you a big Toblerone.
Number 10. His anime debut on Netflix. Have you heard of the anime called Neo Yokio? Your answer is probably no. Jaden Smith's debut in the anime world was not received by the audience as he would have expected. Created by Vampire Weekend frontman Ezra Koenig, 2017's Neo Yokio stars Jaden Smith as Kaz Khan, a vain magistocrat who spends his days socializing and his nights hunting demons. Vampire Weekend made an anime starring Jaden Smith as a rich, arrogant, demon-hunting magician. The 6-episode arc takes place in an alternate reality New York, in which magicians are revered for saving the city from a demonic event in the 19th century. Jaden's character is easy to hate, just like his teenage persona.
Yes. Yeah.
Number 9. Jaden as a K-pop artist? In 2016, he revealed to Twitter followers that he wanted to become a K-pop star. "I'm serious, I actually want to be a K-pop star," he said. Jaden called G-Dragon his inspiration. The pair met when Jaden was in Korea promoting After Earth, and the Big Bang frontman even offered to collaborate on a track. Everything seemed set, and Jaden even confirmed that he'd be dropping a K-pop single within a matter of months. The track never materialized. Jaden has announced his intention to complete musical projects on several occasions, but he never seems to follow through. Number 8. The aftershock of After Earth. After Earth was one of the worst-reviewed sci-fi movies starring Will and Jaden Smith. It got an 11% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really embarrassing, especially for Will Smith. Nonetheless, Jaden's career took a major dip after the movie and became one of the major factors in the downfall of his Hollywood career. "That was the most painful failure in my career," Will said about the much-maligned movie during an interview with Esquire, revealing that it stung much worse than his infamous bomb in 1999, Wild Wild West. Both Will and Jaden were popular at the Razzies the following year. The younger Smith was named Worst Actor, while his old man came out on top in the Worst Supporting Actor category. The movie would go on to cost $130 million to make and only return $60 million domestically.
Get down, brothers, get!
Number 7. The Get Down, Gone Down. The Get Down was a Netflix TV series created by Baz Luhrmann at the eye-watering cost of $190 million, about $16 million per episode, starring Jaden Smith as graffiti artist Marcus Dizzy Kipling. Soon after he moved into his own mansion, Jaden received word that Netflix was discontinuing The Get Down after just 11 episodes. The Get Down apparently wasn't getting the rave reviews Netflix had hoped, and when Luhrmann decided he couldn't continue to commit, the game was over. He said, "When I was asked to come to the center of The Get Down to help realize it, I had to defer a film directing commitment for at least 2 years. This exclusivity has understandably become a sticking point for Netflix and Sony," Luhrmann explained via Facebook.
You know, Louis Vuitton boots?
You know, they are.
Until it gets too late and it's time to go to the after party.
Number 6. Moving out of home. Los Angeles is famous as the home of Hollywood, a major center of the world entertainment industry. However, Jaden Smith didn't feel at home in LA. Speaking to Teen Vogue in 2017, Jaden confirmed that he didn't like LA anymore. "I'm about to move out of LA," he said. "There's a lot of bad things here. It's hard these days to really create the life you want for yourself because there's nobody really here that's like supporting the youth or the youth's creativity and the things that we want to do and how they want to live life." Eventually, Jaden moved out of LA. However, Jaden reportedly stopped being quiet after moving to his $4 million mansion in Hidden Hills, California.
That is 6 times more powerful than morphine. Sharks have been around for longer than trees.
Number 5. His long-awaited album was a failure. The 17-track Sire, A Beautiful Confusion received mixed reviews, but those who didn't like it, well, they really didn't like it. Pitchfork called Sire a sophisticated, paranoid fantasy that mixes New Age thinking with apocalyptic rhetoric. It'd be generous to call this kind of songcraft scatterbrained. Hot New Hip Hop agreed, criticizing the lyrics for asking deep questions about life but not having the diligence or patience to fully engage those questions. What Jaden does with his music shouldn't have any bearing on his movie career, right? Well, here's the thing. One of the running themes throughout Sire is exposing Hollywood for being fake. So in this case, yes, it can. Jaden told Vanity Fair that he wanted Sire to address the hypocrisy of the Hollywood lifestyle. He said, because people like to think, oh, there's certain people in the world that just have it all and they have perfect lives, but that's just so not true, and this is a big shine on that.
I wasn't working. I felt so welcome, and I just want to say thank you, and I'm always want to come back whenever
Oh, thanks.
Number 4. Everyone making fun of his statements. 2014 was a year of utter ridicule in Hollywood. The story relating to a hacker group releasing private emails of film executives went viral. TriStar executive Tom Rothman emailed former Sony head Amy Pascal a link to an interview that the Smith children did with T Magazine. In the interview with T Magazine, Jaden said, "Your mind has a duality to it, so when one thought goes into your mind, it's not just one thought, it has to bounce off both hemispheres of the brain. When you're thinking about something happy, you're thinking about something sad. When you think about an apple, you also think about the opposite of an apple." Thinking out of the box as a teenager isn't wrong, but Jason's words turned to jokes inside Hollywood.
Trusting me? Depending on me, thinking that I can do this?
Number 3. Acts on own foot. Jaden Smith has a history of reflecting his wild thoughts on Twitter. He once referred to himself as the future of music, photography, and filmmaking in a tweet. The bulk of reviews for After Earth suggested his poor acting skills were a major contributor to the sci-fi flick's downfall. The New Yorker wrote, "Jaden, though agile and skillful, isn't a charismatic actor. He doesn't put a lot of personality into the part, and he doesn't have a deft way with the dialogue." Cinemix Tape predicted that he simply wasn't good enough for Hollywood. It wasn't the first time the press suggested Jaden was all talk and no talent. A writer for the New York Post weighed in on Jaden's robust self-esteem. "Whoa, kid, why not worry about walking the dog and taking your SATs before you do all that?" It seems like he spends an awful lot of time talking the talk and not enough time walking the walk, and that'll only get you so far in Hollywood.
So, I don't know. I
Yeah,
thought
that's what
I
you
thought
do
you were
there.
into that type of stuff.
I am. I'm into everything.
Okay.
Number 2. Nothing is real. The philosophical Apple reference was just beginning. Jaden told musician Pharrell Williams that nothing is real during their chat for Interview magazine. This reminds us of Sheldon Cooper from the CBS television series Young Sheldon. Still, Jaden isn't as good as the fictional character in academic fields. Jaden delivered plenty of unconventional interviews over the next 2 years, each one as original as the last. In 2015, he told GQ that he built his own pyramid from scratch. The tip is missing, but the whole structural thing is built, and it sits at 12.5 feet tall. Jaden also bragged about his grasp of time in the now infamous T Magazine interview. "It's proven that how time moves for you depends on where you are in the universe," he said. "It's relative to beings in other places, but on the level of being here on Earth, if you're aware in a moment, 1 second can last a year. And if you're unaware, your whole childhood, your whole life can pass by in 6 seconds." Jaden was 16 at the time.
Hi, Jaden. Say hi to everybody. Everybody say hi to Jaden.
Number 1. Jaden or Jedi? If you think the ridiculous statements end here, you are terribly wrong. Speaking to GQ, Jaden said, "I and Willow are scientists, so everything for us is a scientific test upon humanity." Jaden even compared himself to scientific pioneer Galileo. "People think you're crazy. I feel like it's an honor, actually, for people to think I'm crazy, because they thought Galileo was crazy too, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm as revolutionary as Galileo, but I don't think I'm not as revolutionary as Galileo." Jaden said they started a mystery school inspired by the selective systems of education employed in ancient Egypt and Greece. Plato, Pythagoras, all these students had mystery schools, he said, and what they learned in there was sacred, like you couldn't say the word dodecahedron, which is just a shape, outside one of the mystery schools, or they would kill you or whatever, because it was such a sacred shape. Well, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new to the channel to be notified when we upload more content.